Dolphins have a pretty good play call here, and watch Michael Pierce wreck it. You can see the Dolphins do a nice job getting on the linebackers coming off the ball. Good luck moving Pernell. Watch Pernell set the edge here. But it's really Michael and to some degree Brandon that read this play right away. They're just a fast-flowing defense and a lot of fun to watch, but Michael's just dominant. Always finding the ball is Michael. Controlling his guy here. And look at where this run is aimed. It's really aimed at the inside leg of the tackle. And Michael makes him cut that back. Now look at the blocking, second level. Watch what Michael does here. Just dominant. He and Brandon make this play. Now watch what the defense or the offensive line does to Brandon here. The right guard, just kind of gets a hand on him, but it's his helmet. You see Brandon read that motion right away. And he's going to spike inside and get ahead of this tackle. Now the tackle just grabs him by the head and throws him to the ground. But Brandon's got great effort, great pursuit here, good balance. And this is going to hurt this running back. It's just sort of bowling balls in between he and Michael. Ooh, that is just some good football there, man. Yeah, this play could have had something to it with this blocking up front. That looked good from the onset for Miami, but Michael and Brandon blow it up. Pernell McPhee is a handful. I don't care if he's inside, outside, down to down, play to play. He's a problem if you're an offensive lineman. A lot of conversation going on up here up front between Pat, Pernell, and a DB on the outside who's going to end up running a stunt. Again, Pat Ricard at 2-eye, and he's going to work it outside this time. And I think that's Jefferson. We're going to run Jefferson up the middle on this stunt. Pernell saves the day on this. Watch these violent hands Pernell's got. You can see the force he's striking this guy's outside arm with. Just swats with one arm there. And he's got a plan. Dips his shoulder through. Violent finish. Watch him lay out. Really strike the quarterback here. So he's a problem. This guy is a problem. He brings pressure. Watch the all-22. And you can see what Fitzpatrick wants, and you can see how it is that Pernell saves the day here. He recognizes this pressure. He may have even recognized it pre-snap that Tony's coming here. And this is a problem. Patrick's going to get out and get under, but this is what Fitzpatrick's waiting on. You can see a lot of verticals in this game. 4 verticals for Miami. There must be something on tape that we're susceptible in that manner. But he sees that blitz coming, and I think that's what he wants right away. And I think that's what he's going to get if Pernell doesn't come through and wipe him out. It's odd, too. You see Levine, maybe that's not Jefferson scraping here, whoever that is. This is Jefferson back here. This is odd. Jefferson comes up. This is an odd call to me. Comes up and gets this number 2 receiver. And Anthony goes trucking to play the deep safety role, way from the line of scrimmage. But that's a problem right there. That's a problem. And Pernell solves it for us. Let's watch him from the other angle again. There's a lot of stuff to talk about on this play, so I'll just run it from the top, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. You see Peanut flush the quarterback, and the ball comes incomplete. First thing you see right off the ball is that the Ravens have 5 guys at the line of scrimmage, or standing at the line of scrimmage, and they have Pat Ricard inside this at 2-eye here. Pat's going to work inside, Ricard that is, and Pat Owasu is going to kind of just hesitate here, a little bit of a delayed stunt, and once this back goes away, scraping to the other side for protection, and then ultimately releasing. We see Peanut with a clear lane, and that's really what makes this play. Just it's great design and great execution by Pat Ricard and Pat Owasu. You see him flush the quarterback. Quarterback ultimately really surrounded here by these Ravens defenders. has to ditch the ball. Pretty good pressure on the outside by Tim here, off the left tackle side. And then I think Fitzpatrick does all he can to just get rid of this football here. If we look at it from above, it's particularly interesting, I think, what the Dolphins do. This number 2 receiver on the side, to me, does a great job in setting this pick. One of the things he's able to do is kind of pick for the outside receiver, the number 1. But he's very, very subtle about it. He never really comes to a stop. So a really good job on his part. In other words, he comes out of that pick without fully stopping, right? And then he runs a go. And at this point, he's open. And I'm sure that's what Fitzpatrick is thinking. I think that's Carr on him. And Carr and Humphrey both read this. Carr backs up so that Marlon can get under. Does what he's supposed to, but he ends up, kind of turning his hips and flat-footed there. And at this point, he's even, which means he's in trouble. So a really good job, I think, by the number 2 receiver here to get out of that screen quickly. You can see quite a bit of separation here. The number 1 receiver ends up running a mesh underneath of the one on the opposite side. You see Judon read that. The Dolphins' play is quite well constructed here. You see him reroute within 5 yards, which is a nice job. But then they release the back, and Judon stays home. Judon is so smart. He is so Suggsian. He really is, and he has been. Humphrey makes an effort here to reroute as well, coming across this mesh. You see that? He probably could lay a lick on him there. In any case, just a lot going on this play, and it's Owasu coming up the center, right in the quarterback's face, flushing him, and he just does not have time to set and find that receiver. We'll just watch it from this angle. Yeah, you can see Fitzpatrick sees that open receiver, or wants that open receiver downfield. Dolphins do a pretty good job of clearing space. They get their tight end singled up on Chuck Clark there, and he gets inside position. And that's the read that the quarterback wants. I want to watch it from the other angle and watch Patrick Owasso. Pat is probably a star. I'm not going to go out there and say that, but he's definitely a playmaker. Watch his athleticism here, his reaction time, how quick he is. He's flat-footed here, reading the quarterback. Flat-footed. Just watching. Seems him turn his shoulder. Watch how quickly he shuffles over to get in this throwing lane, and then how athletic he is to get up and get this football. I think he feels like he should have picked it. But you can see that's a good decision by the quarterback if Pat isn't reading that. Excuse me, he's got a good throwing lane for this tight end. Bowser, watch this little arc Bowser does inside, kind of at the quarterback. See him lean his hips inside. Gets the tackle, leaning. See that step, that instep there? He's already leaning. He's got him out of position. Easily gets rid of his hands, dips his shoulder. Brings pressure. Real subtle, in terms of how he gets that tackle to set inside, but he does. Right there. Let's watch it again from this angle. Get another look at these two big guys up front. Right at nose, we see Michael. And inside 4, Brandon. Tim's out wide. Let's watch him along Tim on this too. Brandon and Michael Pierce just dominate their guy, just absolutely wrecking him. And Michael always does a good job with being engaged and finding the ball carrier with his eyes. Brandon too. Watch Brandon get up under this guy. Both of these guys shed as they find the ball carrier and pursue. Tim takes on really 2 blocks here, 2 tight ends. They had shifted both tight ends to his side pre-snap. Watch Tim finding the ball carrier, gets out on the edge. This back makes a decision that he's not going to outrun that angle, cuts it back, and that's a problem with these two big guys in pursuit. Good finish too, man. Oh, these guys are fun to watch.